Alright, let's finish this DLC up. Just killed Dr. Mobius. I don't know if there was a way around that, because he seemed like a pretty cool guy. I don't think there's a way around it anyway. If there was, then I shall do that next time I play through this. And I'll be making a new character right after this anyway, so that should be fun. Okay, before we finish this up, let's see if they can drag me and stuff down the sink. Okay, right. Yes,
Might I be of service?
Prepared. Switch off the sinks, pass it now. Buy some things. It's got no caps. You got any stuff for me? Question mark. No. I have sad face now. Oh well, we don't have the stuff yet. Oh well. We shall also do that next time. Unless someone wants to see it, because I'm sure we can come back to this afterwards, so if anyone wants to see that, just leave a comment and I'll probably just come back and do some stuff if anyone wants to see it. Take some of this stuff actually. Some sarsaparillas. The think tank. Okay, let's finish this. Because now we have a brain, we can get past the pacification thingy. Make sure you're prepared. Yes, I'm prepared. Yeah, charge! It did.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
He has. On my brain now, you and I are going to sell things. Go fast. If you go at the bottom me. And guess what happens now?
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
No, you won't.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
Skull houses the brain of Mobius.
That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. There's no way Mobius would condescend to step inside
Really?
you. Besides, there's no way such a thing could be accomplished. It's impossible.
Countless brain extraction surgeries exist, but only one implantation. One from Mobius. Yep.
You speak the truth. And the decibel variation in your voice. It is Mobius. How dare you breach the think tank? And what do you want here?
I offer a deal. Stay here, stay put, and he'll let you live. Lobotomy.
That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm.
You still do that quietly for me. Bring Mojave this world to you, you'll be safe and subject to experiment.
For you? And for science? I have a strange sensation that I would like that.
You love it.
How
You love too little
odd.
slide.
Very well, partner. The think tank is at your service as long as you do not destroy
Maybe.
us.
Wait, what now? What? Leave? Is that it? Is that the end of the DLC? Hello?
The teddy bear lobotomite return. Why, my little bear of teddiness. I am Dr. Dalla. First head. I have two. That is merely schooling, however. When possible, I prefer fieldwork and observation to holotape eidetics. It has proven useful, especially now. I have become the expert on humanology and lobotomite behavior here at Big Mountain.
Formography.
It's excessive examination of the human form to achieve psychological arousal. Disgusting. I would never succumb to such base appetites. Distractions. Filthy, filthy distractions.
You're so filthy.
Until our next interaction.
So freaking weird. I'm just kill you right here. Oh well. Even though I could. Is that the end of it?
Thank you for... I feel an odd emotion.
Tomorrow with his pylons.
Ask me.
I almost forgot about this thing for a sonic emitter. Did I just like put on mod? Okay. Does it already have it on? Maybe you put it on in this thing, the sync. Oh well. I'm not sure it matters that much. Guess we'll just. Why does it tell me to go to both the places? To retrieve your original spine. Okay, that's good. Let's do that first. Before we go. Oh.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century.
Never mind.
The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The courier had scoured much of the Big Empty, although secrets still remained in the crater's depths. Perhaps that was for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
The Forbidden Zone continued to be, true to its name, forbidden. No more robo-scorpions were sighted in its canyons. Big Mountain became even emptier, devoid of Dr. Mobius's proclamations forecasting the destruction of anything that dared possess sentience. Still, it is said he lived on in the equations inscribed on the floor and walls of the Forbidden Zone dome. A cobweb tracery of symbols that told of 1,000 brilliant thoughts, now lost to time.
The sink atop the dome gained a frontier town feel with the few modules installed. They shouted at each other across the HQ occasionally, either threatening each other or announcing a discovery. It kept things lively. Secretly, the Sync Central Intelligence Unit was relieved that not all of the personality chips had been found.
Oh well.
What was there?
Maybe just come to it back later.
The Biological Research Station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre bored out of their skulls in that toxic, dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier made his way through the X-8 facility, the computers analyzed the test subjects' movements. They eventually created new cyberdogs to root out commie traitors from the wasteland. Traitors like Betsy Bright, Richie Marcus. Although they couldn't seem to find any commies, so they turned on themselves, howling sonic barks that echoed miles across the landscape.
The infiltration program in X-13 continued to scan for the subject and the stealth suit prototype long after the test was over. Frustrated and unable to find its lost technology, X-13 expanded its network of laser tripwires, sensors, and robo-brains out across Big Mountain. This glittering blue light beam forest cleanly bisected anything that entered its depths, slicing them into small segmented parts for easy disposal.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
Dr. Klein and the think tank remained alive, unaware of the world outside. They looped through their daily routine, none the wiser about the world beyond, although perhaps wiser was the wrong word. The world outside belonged to the courier, and if anyone would shape it, well, the courier had already called dibs.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, old world blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The Sync sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little walkthrough of the Old World Blues DLC. Not really sure what I'm going to do next, but yeah, thanks for watching.